okay? And how do we listen? Listening happens in two ways, right? There's active listening, and then there's passive listening, okay? Active listening are things that, let's say in the employee funnel, we ask surveys, we do one-on-ones, we issue the employee engagement survey. These are ways that we ask people to, put down what they're doing. There's also passive ways that we listen to as well, such as we look and we inspect what people write on their personal updates at the all hands. We maybe listen in to people during their meetings and try to detect, are they sad about something? Are they not quite right? Is there something that could be done? So this system is something that we've already developed in HR to actually build a transformation service. Okay, so here's what I want to actually ask. Okay, can we just apply the same system now to partners, right? So how do we actually do it? Your partner campaigns right now are partner transformation services. But the thing that I think I mentioned it today in the BI Scrum is, what specifically are those campaigns tied to, right? What metrics are you really trying to move by doing partner inspection or cleanliness inspection or social media, right? So the answer is, I think, already there. The answer has already been formed. What you're trying to do is you're trying to affect the metrics in the partner transformation spreadsheet that you guys made last semester, right? Things like improving the occupancy, the communication, all the different triggers there. But currently, I don't think there is a connection between the partner transformation spreadsheet and the campaigns that you're actually doing on a day-to-day basis, right? So you have kind of a disjointed system, right? You have the action happening here, but it's not actually resulting, or it might be resulting, but you're not really sure if it's resulting in the output for the spreadsheet, right? Okay, so what I'm suggesting is this, right? What if you start thinking about your partner transformation services in your campaigns as something that then pushes the partner up the pyramid, okay, using the partner transformation metrics, okay? And then essentially that way, everything locks to the next step. The campaigns move the metrics move the partner from the transaction to the relationship, finally to the legacy level. So that would then essentially improve the system, okay? The only part then that is sort of we need to discuss here, right, is what about the feedback system, okay? So this listening part over here, how will you plan to listen? Now there's two ways of essentially working it, okay? In the employee journey that we have here at Bukit Vista, we ask the employees what they think that we should do, okay? I think you guys have seen that a lot. We ask, should we continue the program? Should we stop the program? Should we improve the program, right? Those are usually the three questions that we ask about every employee transformation service. Now, I don't know if we currently ask the partners that, right? Should we continue this program? Should we stop this program? Or should we improve this particular program? The reason why we don't is because partners are generally a lot less active than employees, right? They might not fill out the survey. They might not participate in programs. They might even know there's a program happening. So it becomes like maybe a little bit more effective if we use passive listening or we passively monitor their progression. This is pretty normal in applications. So when you go and let's say use an app, 99% of the monitoring of the listening is passive. They're watching how often you open the app. They're watching how long you spend on the app. They're watching what are the buttons you click on the app. They're even watching who you're talking to on the app. So that's all part of passive listening. Active listening is give us feedback about our application, blah, 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 right? So because these particular systems are harder to get feedback, that's generally why the listening happens more passively over here, right, rather than actively over here. So anyway, okay, the reason why I brought everyone together, we've already created this system that works pretty well in the employee funnel. So what I was thinking is, why reinvent the wheel? Why not just give this over to the partnership team and they can just take it and integrate it into their system? That's one, right? So that's one thing. The second thing that happens out of this cross-pollination is this. We do not have metrics for employee transformation. Okay, let me show you what I talk about. Okay, so let's see, partnership transformation. Let me show Ara this on the flip side. So what Lewis and the rest of the partnership team, Tendi, Rafik, Asa, Ross, everyone did was this. They created essentially this table that tracks a few things. So the goal, of course, is to, let's see, okay, where, ah, Tendi, I might need that table. Where's the table, Tendi, that I can go to see how many legacy partners, how many, whatever partners, how many uh, relationship
Oh,
partners, how many transactional partners we have?
in the right side,
In the right side,
in the end of the sheet.
at the end. Okay. Oh, partner mapping right here, right? Ah, perfect. Okay. Now, this is cross pollination. Now I'm going to ask partners or the partner team whether or not HR can borrow this. Now, Ara, so employee transformation generally looks like this, right? It looks like calling at the top, career in the middle, and job at the very bottom, right? And so we also understand employee transformation probably will go through these stages. Some people will come for jobs. Some of those people who come for jobs will seek careers. Some people who seek careers will actually work here because they have a calling, right? So in that particular regard, right now, we are sort of data blind. We don't know how many calling employees we have. We don't know how many career oriented employees we have. We don't know how many job oriented employees we have. This particular mapping, I think, is pretty effective. Okay, let's go over to R.
So basically, I am currently making this, sir. I have discussions with the
Oh,
Celine and Farah the other day.
already.
But this is going to, yeah, but this is going to be the design for 2022. So I'd like to make a
Oh,
long-term KPI on what, but it's not really matured yet. It's not done. But since you bring this up, so then I'll tell you this. So there are a
ah,
couple of, so here I don't have this employee squad KPI in long terms. We only have OKR, which is it's only monthly, right?
right.
And so far, yesterday I asked also a couple of the C levels, like what are the long run CTO and something like that. And they're also, and you also mentioned that it's just apa, as long as supporting the uh, company goals, right? But I want to keep it more specialized, more specific in terms of my squad, which is employees. So far we have three major things about employee transformation as part of the KPI. Second one is
Okay.
employee retention rate as employee squad KPI, and the third one is scale up the company. This
Oh,
already
wow.
been also distributed to all the chapters. So the
Okay.
first and second part is belong to transformation chapter, which will be led by me and Tandy in the future. And then scale up the company. This will be belong to advocacy, conversion, and awareness chapter.
I got it. Okay.
So if we take a
Interesting.
look at this, let me see. So the one that you just mentioned right now is the first one, right? Job stage mapping, which is
Yep.
the based on the triangle is job, career, and calling. But the thing is,
Hmm.
after discussion with Shalin and Farah, we haven't found the correct metrics on how to move people from job to career and calling. Well, to career, to job and career, that's totally doable. But
Hmm.
from career to calling, I'm not sure how exactly we can transfer people to that level because it's still quite it's motivation, right? If the person since calling usually we can see in the very beginning, like okay, so this person really belong here, really like to be here. So that's
Hmm.
the first one. And then the second part is the career stage mapping. So not just jobs, career and calling, but also like we have this like in every contracts we have trainee, specialist one, specialist two. So we need to have the KPI, like for example, 75% of the employee experience two promotion in 1 year or
Right.
experience one promotion in 1 year. So
Hmm.
then we know that actually people are growing inside the company by
Right.
having this career stage mapping.
Right.
This also will be relate to the career matrix later on, like trainee should be PCI, PJI, and then leader should be LE, for example.
Okay.
That's the
Very good.
tenure in the right side, like how
Got
many
it.
month and the timeline. That's the first KPI, sir. Should I
Okay.
continue to the second one, or you'd like to?
I think I got a pretty good idea. So the vision there is correct, Ara. So you have the correct vision. The thing that we're sharing right now is the mechanism, right? So,
Right.
what is the mechanism to essentially visualize the progress across the employee squad? What
Yeah.
is the way that we are going to count each
Yeah.
transformation? You're absolutely correct. Oh, Tendi. So, a little bit of explanation for the people on the partnership side. Job is transactional alignment, okay? Career is relationship alignment between the employee and the company. Calling is legacy alignment between the employee and the company, right? So when a person has calling, it's they are fully embodied in the kind of work that they do. They really believe that this work is going to be transformative and it's long-term alignment. Okay, so basically the same experience, Tendi, Asa, and Ross as the partner, but in the embodiment of an employee here, right? So similar equivalent levels. Yes, over to Tendi.
Okay, Tendi. Sorry. Okay, sir. So, uh, what's called maybe because I think Ara what's called a little bit confused how to transform from the career to calling, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like legacy, right?
yeah.
It's legacy, right? Yeah, I think legacy it's maybe something that they live on the proper on the company for
Mhm.
the other people like that, right?
Yep.
So we can remember, oh, this person is have this like that, right? Yeah. So
Yes.
yeah, I think it can be similar with the partner might be
Yes.
for
Yes.
example me I think I know a lot of knowledge in this company, and then this is come up with my initiative that I would like to make a workshop like that to spread my knowledge like that. I think that's kind
Mhm.
of like a legacy on the employee that they there's like a unbenefit things that they do like that.
That's
Yeah,
correct.
maybe
That's
that's a
correct.
idea.
So then the question then becomes, Tendi, how do you motivate somebody to want to do that, right? How does somebody progress from just thinking about their own career to thinking about how they can really leave something behind for everybody else? So that's, I think,
The
the
trigger, yeah.
question. What is the mechanism? Yeah,
You
what is
can
the mechanism to actually produce that? Yes, over to Ara.
Okay, in that case, it's actually possible then because Tandy, our definition of calling is not legacy. That's why I said it's not doable. But if you want to put it that way, that calling define if somebody gives legacy, then of course it's doable. We can detect like somebody with job is just like here for short terms, or they don't even want to become like serious committed entirely. For a career, they have promotions. That's what I thought, but calling, that's why it was not defined because legacy is not part of the definition of calling, because calling is somebody that truly cares and like truly want to be here. So if you want to call it with if you want to measure it with legacy, then yes, of course it's doable. That's
so
it for me.
Ara.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you have long in company, right? Do you have an example the people in the calling maybe now? Do we have the people
Dirimu,
on the calling stage?
dirimu, dirimu.
What is the reason? Why? Why?
The reasons is because we see how committed we are to our job, right? To what we exactly do, regardless. Kalau legacy kan berarti in some specific position kan, tapi regardless that itu kita truly care about the company in company wide gitu loh. So
Okay.
kayak Om Rafiq itu juga calling kan, dan memang apa ya, hospitable become part of the calling. Bahkan sometimes the person with legacy belum tentu loh dia calling. For
Hmm.
example, we have a very good interns in making tools in what apalah back end, front end atau UI UX. Tapi ya it's legacy. People are using bigger right now. Siapa dulu yang bikin bigger, si Vincent, right?
Yeah.
Vincent use bigger. Let us make bigger, but it's not his
Hmm.
calling, like to be
Then
here.
I think my suggestion why you didn't interview the people that on the calling, how they motivate to be a calling person, a calling stage like that. So I
Yep.
think you can get maybe some insight that you can get from that to explore your idea maybe from scratch or something like that.
Excellent.
Calling
So
calling biasanya apa ya? Maksudnya kayak emang udah suka gitu loh. Jadi kayak ya itu, that's why exact. But that's a good suggestion. I'll try
okay.
to discuss that again with
All right,
Farhan.
I'll leave you guys. This is perfect. I'll leave that to a sub discussion, but this is actually why The new understanding of the company has actually brought us all together here, right? Because normally this kind of meeting would have never happened before. But what I have realized is that we're all in Ara, you, Tendi, Asa, and Ross. We're all in the transformation chapter, right? We are taking people and thinking about how to transform them. Well, the first thing you have to define is what is transformation, right? What exactly does it mean to transform to the next level? So this is where I think sharing between these two groups is actually going to start helping to create a better system. As you can see, there's already some cross-pollination, right? Tendi has thought about, the transformation of a partner. Ours been thinking about the transformation of an employee. The more I think you guys talk and interface, the more these systems will become better defined. All right. What I see right now is you have the vision, but the partnership team, they have the mechanisms. So these are examples of mechanisms, right? They have already essentially broken down how to achieve legacy level relationships, right? So they've thought about, okay, this is the communication is part of the relationship, the availability is transactional, and so on and so forth, right? And certain triggers, once they have been triggered enough times, that then maps the partners over to this particular graph, right? That progression of the graph, if you can see over time, which apparently we haven't done, but we should, right? That progression over time tells us how we're doing as a company, right? And Tendi, I think Lilith and you guys, you should probably work on what is the September mapping, what is the October mapping, what is the November mapping, because this is the strategic tool that the squad lead would have in order to know, are they doing a good job, right? So more movement from this corner over here up to this corner up in the upper right means you are doing well. But if the mapping is mostly very heavy on the bottom left corner, no alignment and low motivate, or I'm not sure what the low was, but if we're mostly over here, that's bad. But if we're mostly up here, then that's good. And you can kind of see the progression of that over time. Low quality. Yeah, okay, good. So, all right, that becomes then a community visualization tool for the employee community that you can also use as well. You're free to define what metrics you want to use to, course each particular thing, but this tool is something that is extremely powerful, right? Okay, so this is what I'm hoping to get out of this, right? Tendi, I think we just need to get the alignment correct, okay, across all the different layers. So campaigns move transformation metrics, then move partners, okay? And just get that part right. The thing I think you need to think about and consider and come back when you're ready and discuss with Ara too is what is the feedback mechanism that you want to use? Do you want to use active asking partners feedback, or this is mostly passive feedback if I'm not wrong, right, Tendi? This is part of feedback that you don't need to ask the partner. You'll just see it, right? Okay. Using passive feedback is okay, actually. That part works. Yep. Over to Tendi.
Thank you, sir. Because since I had delegate by video since this week for the guest transformation as well, sir. So I also have tasks for the guest transformation stage as well to make find the metrics and then the stage like that as well. So this is like in the first from the beginning. Well, so I also need to define the service on the HR everything because on the HR that there is no data about the transaction, so I need to help the HR to define that as well with the combined vision from the employee and then mechanism from the partner like that.
Excellent. I'm glad you saw that, Tendi. That's amazing. So you're absolutely correct. This mechanism can also work for guests, but once again, we need to have a vision for what guest transformation looks like, right? What is the highest transformation for a guest is when we reach unrecognized needs, right? Meeting expectations, I think, is the lowest. Meeting desires is the next stage, but meeting unrecognized needs is the highest level of guest transformation. Okay, so what does that look like, right? Somebody who expected something, they got what they expected, that's transactional, right? Somebody who got like what they really wanted but didn't expect, That's meeting desires. Somebody who got something that they didn't even know that they wanted, that's meeting unrecognized needs. So those are essentially the three levels. Once again, it's the same process, right? What are the metrics to know that you've actually achieved that crossing over point, and how to do it? Okay, so you're already seeing like there's a lot of good energy in this chapter, right? This is actually a real chapter, and you guys are thinking chapter level ideas. This is why it's good to bring everyone together. Otherwise, each group would have came up with their own system and not borrowed anything. So that part is there. One last thing I want to emphasize: good sub discussion already between Asa and Ara about things that you can borrow. Great. So you can start thinking about like what can you borrow from HR that could actually be used for partnership? What can you borrow from partnership that could be used in HAR as well? One last thing. This part is pretty important. This is actually a part of something that we do in HR. This is called passive discovery. Okay. A lot of times what happens in the company is this: HR did not invent the ETS. Like, for example, I don't think we invented the peer-to-peer chapter feedback, right? That was something that was invented, I believe, in the product development team. HR heard about it, right? And then we took that and we applied it to the other groups and the other teams in the company. Okay. So that is called a form of ETS discovery. You can also do that through PTS discovery. Tendi, I think you were on this idea a while back. You found out that one of our partners was using interns from vocational schools or whatever to essentially staff his teams, right? I don't know if that actually succeeded, but that would have been essentially a form of partner transformation discovery. This is one of the this is one of the most powerful things with a large network of partners. One partner will probably figure something else well soon, right? They'll be like, oh, I can do this. This is how then you can say, all right, let's take that idea, let's apply it to the rest of the community, because that is a really good adoption of something that already works, right? You don't have to invent it. You don't need to even make an MVP. The person made the MVP themselves. You just need to take that idea and spread it out. Okay. So, all right, I think this is actually one of the harder things to do because it sometimes feels invisible. It sometimes feels like, well, this is just normal, right? Like people just do this. No, you have to actually be able to see, aha, this is not normal. Not everybody does this. So we should spread this particular culture and magnify it out. That's something. Perhaps what you guys were just talking about, Ara, right? That idea of the one-on-one. Now that's a transfer. That's like a discovery, right? Oh, we did one-on-one with employees. Maybe we could do one-on-ones with partners, right? So that's a cross funnel type pollination. So anyways, these are all these techniques that we have used, Tendi Asa Ras, in the employee community, right? So these are techniques I think that we can borrow. Ara, is there a discussion group with the four of you in it at this moment?
You mean the chapter meeting?
Yeah. Do you guys have a chapter meeting with the four of you guys in here?
Of course, we have chapter meeting on Wednesday, right?
Oh, right. Okay. And that's the transformation meeting, right?
Yeah, transformation chapter meeting.
Okay, good. I think the more times you guys meet, the more of these ideas will start going across, and the more we essentially can focus on transformation. All right, that's pretty much it. So my intention is this. Let's go over to Tendi. Tendi, what would you like to have as the next actionable steps after this discussion?
Yeah, because currently I delegate the partner transformation to Asa.
Okay.
So I will delegate to Asa because I need to working on the guest transformation. There is no data at all there, so I need to build that. So but I had coordinated with Erika and Sasha and PD. I got the metrics already, the the transactional, the needs and the pyramid, and then I will analyze and then first. But I will come up by this week first, sir, for the analysis and then
Okay.
the idea by
Fantastic.
Saturday. Yeah.
Great. Okay. And then Ara, what would you like to take? Any actionables that you would like to take based on this discussion that could be applied to HR?
I'll have to discuss again with Shailen and Farah regarding the job calling and career mapping. about
Okay.
the transformation of the employee. I think that's
Okay, great. And also, I think there's a lot of synergy we can use here too, right? Ara just mentioned a lot of times when you find somebody with calling, it's easier to find them than to actually develop them, right? So sometimes you just have to look for people who naturally are very passionate about something, right? And invite them to
yeah.
come and work here in Bukit Vista. A similar approach can also work. That's what I said today, Chendi. You need a vision, right? If you don't have a vision for your partners, then you won't get legacy minded partners. But if your vision is about sustainable development, if your vision is about, let's say, ethical development, if your vision is about tourism recovery and doing something for the community, right, at whole, then you will start getting people to join you because they believe in your cause. But if you have no cause, then you have no opportunity to get legacy. So really think about what the cause is, Asa, in this particular case, and share it with your group, embody it, and that's how you then start attracting the kind of partnerships that really are passionate about not making money, not about whatever, but really can we actually work together to change the world, right? And those are very exciting kind of partnerships. Okay, that's pretty much it. Do we need to have some discussions here, Ara, or is this a pretty good start for today?
I think it's a good start. I'll have to talk to Shailen and Farah again for this.
Okay, great. So maybe you guys can put the actionables on your Wednesday discussion. Wait, is it Wednesday already in Bali? It's Wednesday already, right? When
Yeah,
did you
yeah,
transfer?
Wednesday.
Okay, so have
Wednesday.
this on that. Okay, sorry, Thursday. And continue the discussions there. Please loop in Lilith, then Asa and Tendi. Yeah, make sure she gets it. I think she'll see it right away, but maybe not. And then I think that'll be fantastic. All right, everyone, have a nice day. Talk to you
Okay,
guys later.
thank you,
Good night.
sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you,
All right,
Asa.
Chris.